A.O.S. abroad. Thank you very, very much for joining today's episode. Really do appreciate everyone for joining and for coming on live to participate in our live session. Really do appreciate and I don't take it for granted. Now, today we have a nice topic we're going to be taking. This topic is really a new topic, a new conversation in the immigration sphere. It is a conversation centered on IRCC developing a very new pathway to Canada, a new pathway you can use to actually relocate abroad. You can use to come to Canada, you understand, as a skilled worker and have the opportunity to stay here for either particular to do a particular job, which is in the agri sector, or in the fish processing sector. So there are two sectors actually. There's the agriculture and there's the fish processing sectors. So today we are going to center our discussion on the article that was actually published June 30, that is June 30, 2025, my birthday. Yeah, and that is about 2 days before now. You understand it has gone, it has passed. But what we are trying to say is today we want to talk about the conversation centered on the new pathway to Canada, the new pathway immigration, refugees, and citizenship Canada are actually adding up to the various programs that are already available right now. So we are going to be making use of the article written by Janice Rodriguez on CICnews.com, which is the Canada Immigration and Citizenship News website. So we'll be talking about IRCC, the Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada. They developing the new foreign worker stream for agriculture and fish processing. For agriculture and fish processing. So if you are a skilled worker and you have some certain expertise or knowledge or experience in those lines, then you can actually wait for and apply for this program once it gets started. Do you understand? So listen in to this program and see how you can also benefit from it. So it stated Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada, IRCC, is working towards the creation of a new foreign labor stream. So when they say something is a new foreign labor stream, basically this stream is focused on what? On filling labor gaps, labor shortages in Canada's agriculture and fish processing through foreign workers, through people that will come into Canada and work in those sectors. So if you are someone that would like to work in Canada and you are someone that has that skill, or you are willing, because sometimes you may not have the what they call it, the experience, but you are willing to actually work in that sector, whether in the agriculture sector or in the fish processing sector, then you stand a very good chance of getting selected to come to Canada through this pathway. Now, what do we know about the upcoming stream? What do we know right now that Canada is actually talking about, or Canada is really needing for this particular pathway? Now, from what we can derive, they said the Department of Immigration, IRCC, has reviewed plans to what? Reviewed plans to create, you understand, the new foreign labor stream. Do you understand? And in its 2025 to 2026 department plan announced early last month, early June 2025. So, and as per the plan, what they plan to do is that IRCC is working on the development of a stream specific, you understand, specifically for foreign workers in the agriculture and in the fish processing sectors. Now, the new program, as they say, will include a corresponding sector-specific work permit. Now, what do they mean by this? Many times we're always talking about pathways. We're always talking about programs and pathways you can use to come into Canada. And Sometimes there are some pathways that are specific for a particular occupation. They are specific for a particular industry. And this is similar. This is an agriculture and fish processing industry where you would work, you understand, in that, like it is sector specific. So what that means is that the work permit that you would get to work in this part of this kind of industry is only centered on that industry. You can't work in another industry. You can't leave the agriculture and food or fish processing sectors and go and work somewhere else when you come into Canada. You will be, you understand, specifically meant to work in that agriculture or, you understand, fish processing sector. Now, what they mean is that this stream may also expand partner country agreements. Do you understand? Or country agreements like the agreements they have with the United States, with Mexico. You understand that Canada has with some Asian countries. They may expand partner country agreements, which could streamline the hiring of foreign workers. And we are hoping that it doesn't streamline it in a way that it removes maybe like some African countries like Nigeria from the because when they say specific partner countries in the sector, they may be focused on, just like I said, United States, Mexico. They may be focused on the what they call it, some Asian countries like India and the rest of them. But we hope that it is going to be a program that is going to be opened more to, you understand, African countries like Nigeria as well. Now they said the department has stated that it plans to what? To work on the policy development and public consultations. So they are not just going to do this by themselves, but they would also consult with families and with farmers. They will consult with farmers. They will consult with those that have businesses in the agriculture sector to find out that who do they need specifically to work for them. You understand? What are the benefits that these employees would get when they come in? How can they make the hiring process much more seamless? So they would have some consultations with them, you understand, so that they will support the creation of this new stream of workers coming into Canada, alongside working with the Department of Employment and Social Development Canada, ESDC, in 2025 to 2026. So what do we know about this? We know very well now that this is a program that is here to stay for at least 2 years. You understand? It's a program that they are going to start this year, and it's going to span from this year to next year. We know that because they said it's going to be 2025 to 2026. At least it's going to be like a kind of pilot program where they are going to see the success or the failure of the program through the lenses of you understand, those that benefited within these 2 years. Now, they said, according to the Department of, you understand, Immigration, IRCC, this stream is part of the broader effort to better manage temporary resident levels, which is those that are coming in as visitors, as international students, or as temporary foreign workers, and to also support Canada's economic objectives. Because you have to note something, that Canada is always needing workers. Canada is always needing skilled professionals. Canada is always needing those employees that are willing to work. Because there's something about first world countries. Sometimes they may have people in the country who are not willing to do those jobs. Do you understand? Caregiving, for instance, many Canadians may not be willing to do those jobs. Agriculture jobs, many of them may not be willing to do those jobs. Canadians, they may not be willing to do those jobs. So, in order to fill in the gap, they need people to come from overseas, come from other countries to actually work those jobs, right? They need people to be actively involved in those jobs. If you don't want to do those jobs, no problem. You can be in the country and focus on other jobs. You can even set up your own business, just like, you understand, we did when we came into Canada. We set up our own business to work in Canada. We didn't go to, I didn't specifically, I didn't go to look for jobs in any of those, you understand, companies. So you can decide to set up a business, but if you want to also come into Canada, especially if you want that so-called job sponsorship, you understand, you may actually get companies that will bring you into Canada specifically to serve them, specifically to work for them. Do you understand? You work for them in that nature. You are not able to work for any other company because, of course, they sponsored you. So it has to be a win-win situation. You can't come into the country through a company or through a job, but at the end of the day, now leave the job and go and do something else. No, no. Because a win-win situation is you benefit by them bringing you into the country. Do you understand? And they also have to benefit by you working for them. You working for them, so for a certain time you can now decide after maybe a month or a year or two, you understand, to finally leave them if of course you have gotten your own way out. But the idea is it has to be a win-win situation. You have to work for them for a certain time. So what they are saying is that in the 2025 and 2026 department plan, IRCC also mentions goals to prioritize temporary foreign workers application in essential sectors. Now look at that word, essential sectors. It is not all sectors right now that Canada are looking up, and that's why they are reducing the quotas of people they are bringing into Canada. If you are not part of the essential workers, in the essential industries, in the in-demand jobs that they are requiring people, you understand, on a daily basis, they are not going to pick you to come into Canada. So most times when we talk about discussions like this, we always tell people, you know, if you are not in the agricultural and food processing sectors, which is part of the essential sectors, you can more or less pivot your career. That okay, yes, I'm in Nigeria now, and I want to be in the agriculture. Let me go and learn some things within a few weeks or within a few months so that I can get qualified when this new, you understand, pathway gets started. So that's another way to think of it. If you want to get selected through the pathway, you may work towards actually getting all your documents, getting all your credentials, and your, you understand, skills ready for when they actually start picking people under the agriculture and fish processing sectors. Now, Canada stated something, especially on the article that we are reading. It says the labor shortages in Canada's agriculture sector. Agriculture remains a key sector in Canada with labor demand and ongoing worker shortages. Many people are complaining they don't have jobs in Canada, they don't make money in Canada. But just like I said before, many of them are not willing to go and work in the agricultural fields. Many of them are not willing to work in the farm, in the farm, in the farmers' companies. So basically, there have to be someone that will do those jobs. You understand? There have to be some people that, if they can't get locally in the country, they can actually outsource and get people from outside the country to come in to do those jobs, right? So, and they have seen shortages every time because if they are not farmers, if they are not workers in those farms to actually do those jobs, of course, it's simple. There's going to be what? Food scarcity. And if there's no food scarcity itself, if okay, people are importing from other countries, food is going to be more expensive because if you are not producing your own things locally, you understand, and you're having to depend on other countries to actually provide you with the food that your own populace are going to be eating, then of course those countries that you are going to will be earning money from you, and they would be they would be at, how will I call it? They would decide how much you are going to pay for certain foods. They would decide, you understand, if they would sell to you at an exorbitant rate or not. So you would have to pay more basically. And that is what Canada is trying to avoid at the end of the day, because people just see the micro um, conditions or the micro negatives when it comes to immigration. They don't see the macro issues that the government is actually trying to face out. They need employees to work in Canada to provide or to cater for Canadian foods. You understand, Canadian foodstuffs, food items, and things, so that they can be the ones that are responsible for providing things that Canadians are actually eating on a daily basis, which is going to be at the end of the day cheaper for Canadians than, you understand, then importing everything and becoming more expensive for the, you understand, populace. So basically what we are saying is in the agriculture and agri-food industry, the occupations that are needed, they remain one of the categories in Canada's category-based selection draws under the express entry. So for even many people that want to become permanent residents, if you want to become a permanent resident and you are someone that you say, okay, I just don't want to come and work for one employer. I want to have opportunity to work for 2 to 3 more employers. I want to have opportunity to even set up my own farm if I'm able to get funding. I want to have opportunity that if I get some certain experiences, I can, you understand, be independent. You can also go and apply under the Canada's category-based draws under the express entry. You understand? And that's one of the things we do for our clients, because we came into Canada as permanent residents. We also want people to come into Canada as permanent residents so that you have more opportunities. You are not just restricted to one occupation or one employer. And of course, if you want us to assist you with that, then go on our profile or click on the link aos.name.ng. Go on our website so that we are going to assist you to, you understand, start working on your permanent residency processing and application through our immigration partners as well. Now, Canada stated that the creation of the new agriculture and fish processing stream may also be an effort, you understand, to fill labor gaps left by the closure of the what agri-food pilot pathway, which closed earlier this year. For those that are following Canada, you know that the old pathway, which was the pathway people were using to come in for the agriculture sector, was the agri-food pilot pathway. But that pathway has been closed right now. So many people are not able to come into Canada again as agriculturists and, you understand, work in that sector. But now they want to bring up new programs that will cater for the closure of the previous program. Now they said the agri-food pilot was a pathway to permanent residence for foreign workers in specific occupations, including meat product manufacturing, floriculture production, and animal production. Now, it was first launched in 2020 to help employers in this in-demand sector meet labor shortages. In February 2025, the agri-food pilot IRCC announced that it had reached its application cap for the year as of February 13 and would no longer accept new applications or new submissions. As a result of that, the pilot pathways usually run for a maximum of 5 years. Like the agri-food pilot started 2020, you understand, and it's as closed this year 2025. So even this pathway that they want to introduce now, we believe that it's going to be a pathway that it may last for 2 years, just like they said 2025 to 2026, or when it even reaches 2026, they may extend the pathway that, okay, yes, so they still need employees, they still need farmers, they still need those that would work in the farm workers. So they may, or the fish workers, the fish processing workers, they may extend the program more than its initial lifespan of 2 years, 2025 and 2026. They may increase it to maybe like 2030, right? 2030. But what we are trying to say is before they expire, because of course, at most, maximum is 5 years, and after which they expire, although successful pilots can lead to permanent programs in the future, just like in the case of the Atlantic Immigration Pilot Program, you understand, which is now a full-fledged program on its own. So it may lead to creating a permanent program in the future. But what we just need to know right now is that for this one right now, you can get started with gathering your documentation. You can get started with gathering your years of experience. You can get started with gathering your educational credentials. Some people may wonder that, oh, agriculturists, do they need any education? To communicate easily in Canada, the least education you may get or the program may require is high school diploma. You understand? So that they know that at least you can speak English. So that they know that you are at least a little bit learned. It may be high school diploma. And they may even say you don't even need it. Or they may say you even need above the high school diploma. Do you understand? Maybe a college diploma, you may need maybe a bachelor, though I mostly doubt that, because farm workers don't really need, you understand, degrees or diplomas or, you understand, PhDs and all those things to work in the farm. So I doubtly doubt that they are going to require it. But when it comes to express entry, especially on the category-based draws that I was talking about earlier, for the category-based draws, especially if you want to come into Canada and become a permanent resident almost immediately, do you understand? The category-based draws of express entry can actually help you become more qualified, do you understand, and have the opportunity to become a permanent resident as soon as you land. And you may be wondering, who are those that become eligible for those particular category based jobs. Right now, the only agriculture and agri-food occupations that are allowed to come into Canada and become permanent residents are the butchers in retail and wholesale industry of, you understand, food processing. So if you are a butcher, you can cut meat, you can cut fish, you are skilled in doing those things, then Canada actually needs you. And you can come into Canada as an agriculturist and also become a permanent resident to be able to work for 2, 3, 4, 5 employers at the same time without being restricted to work with just one employer, like in the case of the new pilot program that is going to come up. So that being said, if you have any questions, please drop it on the comment section. This was just a quick update from us, you understand, about what is currently happening in Canada. So we don't really have much to talk about today. All we just talked about today, just to recap, is IRCC's plan to develop a new foreign worker stream, you understand, for agriculture and fish processing workers. So if you are into agriculture or you are into fish processing, you can stand the chance of getting selected. When will they start the program, you may ask? We are still not sure. We were hoping that this July, you understand, early this July, we would hear something about when they will start the program and they'll start inviting, and the criteria, the eligibility, because we don't yet know the eligibility. Maybe how many years of experience do you need, you understand, in agriculture or fish processing? We don't yet know the educational credentials you need to submit. We don't know the training certifications you need to have, or maybe licenses, even though we believe they may not really require any licensing to come into Canada. You understand the kind of job, because they have said it's going to be a specific work permit. You understand, a sector specific work permit pathway. So of course they are going to require you to get some certain jobs. So we need to know right now, you understand, which of those jobs, because if we don't know if it is a full-time job you require, if it's a part-time job you require, a contract employment, a temporary employment, if we don't know the exact kind of job IRCC is talking about, we are not going to be sure of those that are eligible, you understand, fully for that pathway. So we still expect to hear from IRCC within a couple of days or weeks about the new foreign worker stream for agriculture and fish processing, you understand, pathway that they are bringing up in earnest. So once we get any further updates about what is currently going on the immigration sector, we are going to inform you, you understand. So please don't forget, every week we always come on live at least once to talk about trending topics, to talk about, you understand, news updates about what is trending in Canada. And you can always get updated from us by subscribing to our channel, following us on social media, whether be it on TikTok, on Instagram, on YouTube, anywhere you are reaching out or you are watching from. You can also like and share with your friends and family. Let more and more people know about the updates that are going on in Canada. And you can drop your comments to ask your questions anytime we come on live. So don't forget to actually join us. Same time, it will not be same time. Same station as a station, like TV or radio. Same platform. You understand? Join us on the same platform, whether you're on YouTube, you're on TikTok, you're on Instagram. Join us on the same platform another day as we come on live to share trending issues with you about Canada. So thank you very much, everyone. If we don't have any questions or clarifications or updates, then we'll call it a day. Do have a lovely day ahead. Bye for now, everyone.